Hey, everybody, it's May 26th, Friday, and welcome to another episode of Plantstrong Facebook. No, not Facebook. Are we Facebook? Yeah, we are Facebook.
We are Facebook and YouTube. Oh, yeah.
Facebook Live. I'm Rip Esselstyn. My sidekick, Carrie Barrett here.
Hey, my team Plantstrong people.
Yeah. Thanks for being here today. You know, Carrie, I cannot believe that it is almost done with May. And we're like rounding the corner into summer.
I know, because well, I don't have children. And so I just feel like every day just sort of molds into the next without a lot of these big things that you have to go through as a father of 3 young kids who are having to go through the school and the sports and everything else.
And they all just got out of school yesterday, all at once. And so what I'd love for you guys to just put in the comment section right for now is let us know, what about summer are you most excited about? I can tell you that I was driving today and I drove past a gentleman mowing his lawn, and it's not that hot here in Austin yet. And then we've had a lot of rain. And so I got that fresh whiff of freshly cut grass. And it just takes me back to Cleveland, Ohio, getting out of school, and then just looking forward to all the playtime, the excitement, family and friends, vacations, the water that are associated with summertime. I just loved it.
That's so great, because probably in about 3 weeks from now in Austin, you won't get that fresh rain, cut grass feel, because it will be dry and hot and everything else. So that's awesome that you got that little taste of Ohio.
I already love the comments coming in. Joanne says, less cars on the roads. I couldn't agree with you more. This morning, there was like no traffic here in Austin, Texas. Look at Paul. Paul says, I enjoy my outdoor vegetable garden in the summer months. Love it. Oh my gosh. Campfire food and time on the water. I couldn't agree with you more, Jamie.
Wow. I'm writing that down, Jamie, because that's a song title is what that is. So I have to write that tune.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, love it. So Carrie, today we're going to be talking about kind of picnics, right? Picnics and grilling and a lot of those things that we associate with summer. And we want to do everything we can to help make your summertime food options Plantstrong, so that you kind of get through the summer months and you come out the other end and you're feeling fantastic and revved up for the fall.
And you are the envy of every barbecue and picnic that you go to. Like, that is my goal, is that when people look at my plate that is filled with so much freshness and goodness and life, I love it when people, first of all, I love it when people make fun of me because I have so much food on my plate. And then B, I love it when people are like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. Yeah. And all it is just like, I think Paul said, just vegetables from the garden.
Exactly. And you know what? We want to arm you guys with some resources and tools to make this summer a great Plantstrong summer. And so we're going to be sharing with you guys some guidebooks. So stay tuned for that. So Carrie, do you think we should start it out with talking a little bit about hamburgers?
I mean, could we even talk about picnics and barbecue without talking about hamburgers? Yeah, I think let's just go there.
I don't think we could. So let's start and we're going to give you guys some of our favorite Plantstrong burger recipes. But before we do, let me just do a little fun facts with everybody, okay? So get ready to throw out some answers and questions. In the comment section. So first off, Carrie, do you have any idea where the name hamburger originated from?
Okay, I love it when you stump me because I don't mind being the jester of all of these quizzes, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna go out on a limb and say like Hamburg, Germany.
Well, you're not going out on much of a limb because that is the answer. It was derived from Hamburg steaks from immigrants of Hamburg, Germany, sailors specifically that came over to the United States in the 19th century. So, how about that?
Yes, I promise you, we did not talk about that before we went on the air.
Now, here's another fun fact, and that is it was introduced, the hamburger was really introduced to America at the St. Louis World Fair in 1904. And there was a burger stand that a individual had there, and I guess it just kind of blew up. And his name was Fletcher Davis. And guess what state he was from?
You're doing this to me again. Let's see, Texas.
Athens, Texas.
Oh, no way. No way.
Yeah, you're 2 for 2.
Oh my gosh.
You're crushing it.
I should just log off now.
Okay. So, do you have any idea if you had to guess how many, and I'm going to make this a little easier for you, on average, how many billions of hamburgers do we as Americans eat each and every year?
Come on, somebody in the comments, toss me something. See, that this one's really hard because you're talking about numbers, and so
I want to see if
a billion's a lot. So
I want to see if you can get within 5 billion of the correct answers. Paul, too many.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So let's say 50 billion.
It's exactly 50 billion.
No way.
This is absolutely too much. Wow.
No
wow. Okay. So the heaviest burger, I don't know if it's the Guinness Book of World Records, but the heaviest burger that I was able to find that was ever made weighed in at a ridiculously robust 3,381 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it sold for over $7,000.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, who and why?
How many? Yeah, I mean, I just think how many poor animals had to suffer for a 3,000-pound hamburger. I don't even. Yeah,
it's sad.
So, yeah.
So now, speaking of which, so you said there's roughly 50 billion hamburgers, right, that we eat as a country every year. If you were to line those burgers side by side, how many times do you think that would circle planet Earth?
Okay, my winning streak is now officially over. Let's say, I'll say 20. That is a
32. 32
okay.
times. Okay. And I don't know who did that exercise, but that's kind of crazy.
Wow.
How many billions of hamburgers do you think McDonald's has sold since their inception?
Enough that they actually stopped putting it on their signs several years ago. Remember when they used to say that?
I can remember when it said millions.
Yeah.
And then at some point they changed it to billions.
And gosh, 100 billion have been sold. I don't even, I shudder.
300 billion.
300 billion.
Billion. And just to put this into perspective for you and for everybody that's joining us today, let me share with you the difference between a million seconds and a billion seconds. So 1 million seconds is the equivalent of about 18 days. Okay. I might be a little off there. 1 billion seconds is 33 years. That's like insane. So somebody's going to do the math and figure that one out. So do you know what day in America is National Burger Day?
I would venture a guess as Memorial Day.
Woo!
Yeah.
Coming up. May 28th.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
And it is third on the list as the most home grilled food. What do you think is number 1 and number 2 ahead of hamburgers?
Well, hot dogs certainly would be up there.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm guessing that number 2 is not carrot dogs, but what would be the second? Like just chicken?
Steak. It's
Steak.
steak.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Yep.
This
So
hurts. It hurts my GI. But
let's talk about some Plantstrong burger recipes that we love making during the summertime. And then I also want to get into our favorite kind of hot dog brat recipe. That's an absolute home run. I'd also like to talk about some really cool sandwiches that make summertime lunches really just easy and tasty. And I know you have some things you want to share as well.
I sure do. Yes. Yep. Some salads or like some side dishes I'd like to recommend, and then just some and I actually for the folks that are watching too, I will be dropping some links and stuff into the comments to some Plantstrong Foods resources like on our website, our foods website, where you can download some of these and get some of these free resources.
Fantastic. All right. So, Carrie, let me jump in right now. So, you guys all know this book. This was my second book, Plantstrong. And look what's on the front, Carrie.
I know. And I have the original that was called, are we allowed to say what the original book was called?
If you must, you must.
Run. That book was called My Beef Meat, which I thought was brilliant. But I think Plantstrong obviously has become now the brand, which makes that book even more poignant. And so why did you go burger on the front?
Well, because I wanted to show people that you can have your absolute all-American, you can eat your all-American favorite foods and not feel deprived. So you can have, and again, it's how I got a bunch of Texas male firefighters to do this. We're doing burritos, we're doing hamburgers, we're doing fajitas, we're doing pizza, right? All these things. We're doing pancakes, waffles, right? All of our favorites. So this, I'm just going to share some of this recipe with you guys. This is on page 203 of Plantstrong, and this is called the handstand burger. And I was introduced to this by Jeff Novick, a very brilliant dietitian and nutritionist and chef. And he says the absolute key is you got to have a grain. Got to have a grain. And so the grain that we use here in this burger is brown rice. You got to have oats. So we love just plain old-fashioned rolled oats. And then you got to have some sort of a legume. Okay. So whether it's a kidney bean or black bean, garbanzo beans. So those are the three. That's the magic. The magic happens. That's how you get that kind of cement and the staying power with the brown rice, the oats, and a legume of choice. And then you just add whatever you want to give it that zippity doo-dah, right? So you can add, for example, the curry powder or the garlic or the black pepper. One of the things I love adding is some sweet potato. Give it a little sweetness. So I have a sweet potato handstand burger. You can also do some salsa, right? So like sometimes I'll do a quarter cup of salsa in the mixture. So I take all those things. So I take the rice, I take the oats, I take, let's say, the combination of kidney beans and garbanzo beans, chickpeas. I mash all those up. And then the key here is you don't want too much fluid in the mixture, right?
Yep. I was just going to ask, like, is there a measurement of each of those? You know, the brown rice, the oats, the legumes, is like a 1-to-1-to-1 kind of measurement.
Yeah, but it's kind of one of those things where you just got to do it, and then you got to kind of figure it out. But you can also follow the recipe. But I'll just tell you guys, like here in the book, it's 1 15-ounce can of drained kidney beans. It's 1 cup of old-fashioned rolled oats. It's a half a cup of cooked brown rice, half a cup of sweet potato that's been cooked and peeled and then mashed, and then it's a quarter cup of salsa, and then it's whatever you want as far as your spices, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
for this one, it's a tablespoon of curry powder, and then it's a little bit of garlic, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of onion powder as well, and that's it. And then basically, so then you kind of mash it up, throw it in the refrigerator for just like 15 minutes or so. Then you just take your hands, make them into burgers, put them on your parchment paper, right? Throw them in the
Yep.
oven. Or if you want to do them on the grill, I suggest getting a cooking sheet with the parchment paper on top and then putting that on top of the grill.
Oh, I like that. So yeah, obviously, because if it's too
It's just
moist or sticky, it might stick to the grill itself.
veggie burger. Let's just call a spade a spade. Veggie burgers. They don't have any grease, oil. They're not gonna do well on those rails, right?
Yeah.
So and we don't want to oil those down to the till the cows come home. So I would take either a skillet, just take a skillet and put it on the grill with some parchment paper, or just do the cookie sheet.
That's a great idea. And just for people who are asking for that particular recipe, what I just dropped in the comments
Yeah.
is a link to our plant-based burger guide that we actually just put out this week. And it essentially encapsulates just exactly what you just said, Rip. It's like, pick your legume, pick your grain,
Yeah.
you've got your pick your oats, and then add as necessary. And it actually does give some measurements on the liquidity and all of that other stuff that you want to put in there. So please, like, go ahead and grab that link, bookmark it. But it's all at plantstrongfoods.com. And as you said at the outset, your choices are endless on how you can make this. My husband and I love to do one that is carrots. So it would be the same. It would be like a quinoa or a brown rice. It would be oats. And our beans that we'll put in this particular one are like a cannellini bean, like a white bean, or even a chickpea burger. So we could put our chickpeas in there. But we love carrots and sweet potatoes for that orangeness. So and so it does give it a sweetness. It's so excellent. But if we want to go something a little more I guess optically like a burger, you could throw a little bit of beets in it, even just shredded beets. You just need a little bit of that red beet texture to it. And it really enhances not just the taste, but the overall look of it too.
And to that point, Carrie, thank you for expanding on what you do, because everybody, there's no limit to the creative ways that you can combine things in your burgers. Just use those three foundational kind of ingredients, right? The grain, the bean, and the oats, and then the sky's the limit. Look at this, Linda. Oh no, not
we did.
That's not the one. That's not the one. It was here. It was anyway. Somebody said they've got a whole batch of the burgers in the freezer of the hand.
Oh, there you go, Colleen. Yep.
Yeah. There
Colleen.
it is.
Oh, you and I keep stepping on each other with the comments. Yeah.
We do. All right. So do you want to say anything more on burgers?
Yeah, I think too that yeah, we've stressed it enough. Like there is a company out there that is in some of the supermarkets, and it's actually called the name of the company is called Actual Veggies Burgers, and they really are the frozen version of what we're talking about. And so we've tried those. They're great. They literally are just veggies with the grain and everything else. So, that's something that's readily available. But if that's not available in your market, the prep time is no more than 10 minutes. If you have the ingredients, the prep time of just mashing them together and putting them together is no more than 10 minutes. And you cool them for about 10 minutes, and then you grill them. and they grill faster than any other thing too. I mean, they're just, it's so easy. So, and then from a condiment standpoint, there's no difference, right? You can put your pickles on it. You can put your mustard on it. You can put your jalapenos and sprouts and all of those things that just continue to make it feel alive. So yeah, yum, yum, yum. I can't wait. Right. Lori's asking what temperature to bake them. We're talking about just putting them on a grill, like, or air fry.
Well, is she talking about the handstand burgers?
Yeah, it was vague. It just says what do you bake them at?
Yeah, well, I would go at about 425.
Okay.
And if you do it in the oven, and I would go for about 5 minutes on each, 5 minutes, and then turn them over and then go again. Yeah, but these are going to be nice and crispy on the outside and kind of a little bit moist on the inside, which is great. I love them like that.
Yum.
Yeah, and then if you're going to do it on the stovetop or the grill, feel it out. But I would say 3 to 4 minutes aside.
Yep, no oil.
But don't get it too hot. Don't get it too hot either.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because then you end up burning the outside too much.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't want that. We don't want to get those carcinogens, those burned carcinogens. All right. Should we move on to a little kale bruschetta?
Oh, we shall.
All right.
Yum.
Well, I want to show everybody this photo. If you can make this large, Carrie.
Let me just move you over here and then boom. Okay. Yum. Is that also in Plantstrong?
Yeah, this is in Plantstrong. These are open-faced kale bruschetta sandwiches. Love these in the summertime. And let me tell you exactly what you got going on here. So we got a bunch of kale. Take your pick, whether you want the curly kale or the dinosaur kale. My favorite's the dinosaur. What about you, Carrie? You have a favorite?
I do like dinosaur, but I like the the one that's a little more vibrant green.
That's probably the curly kale.
The curly kale, yeah.
The darker is the dinosaur, but it's not as unruly, I find.
Yeah, you're right. The curly kale used to be it used to put it on the salad bar, but now it's like in the salad bar. Yeah, I like that stuff.
So we want to take a bunch of kale, then we got to strip it off the spine. Then I like actually doing a little chiffonade with it, and then throwing it either in a saucepan or in boiling water, whatever you want. But I want to cook it down just a little bit. Make it not so unruly. And then here's the key to the kale bruschetta, and it's the OMG. What does OMG stand for?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Our walnut sauce. And this walnut sauce is on page 216, and it's a cup of walnuts with 2 to 4 garlic cloves, 1 tablespoon of low sodium tamari, and then 1/4 to 1/2 cup of water to your desired consistency. You put that in your blender and you whiz it up, and that is what you're going to put on top of your toasted bread. So you put the OMG walnut sauce, then you put your kale, right? That's been cooked. If you don't want to cook it, that's fine too, right? I mean, I've done it every way you can imagine. And then on top of that, we want to drizzle, we want to cut in half little grape tomatoes, preferably that you've picked from your summer garden and they're still warm. And then we want to drizzle some balsamic vinegar on top of that, and you are good to go. And this is a great summer picnic sandwich.
Okay, and I found, and this is a very, very, very similar recipe that is on plantstrongfoods.com, but it has the recipe for the OMG walnut sauce. But this is your bruschetta pizza, which is same concept. You're putting it on a bit of a crostini. This could be also made bigger and put on like a Plantstrong Foods pizza crust, for example. So, but if you guys grab that recipe there that I just dropped, it's got the OMG walnut sauce recipe.
Sorry, I just stepped on you again. But I love that Philip is going to the Indianapolis 500, and he's taking a plant-powered cooler to help help make it a Plantstrong Indianapolis 500.
Love that.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, look at that. So Mona just planted kale this year and it's doing great. We have planted, we got big old pots and we put them in our backyard, and we've got lettuce, we've got kale, we've got basil, and it is doing so well, Carrie. I think it's in part because of all the rain that we've been having.
Yes, yes. We just got to Bend, Oregon for the summer a week ago. And so we just are now getting situated. So I haven't had a chance to get our pots out from last summer to start planting. And so if anybody has any suggestions, like in years past, we've done sweet pepper, like the little mini peppers, which are great, just in little pots. And then cherry tomatoes we've done with a lot of success. The one thing that we tried last year, which didn't take for us, but we probably had it in the wrong pot, were just like Japanese eggplants. I love this. I know your favorite, Rip, but we love the small ones.
Yeah.
And just couldn't get them to do what they needed to do. But so if there's anyone, Maria's also in Bend for the summer. What's up, neighbor? But yeah, if anyone has any ideas of what we can plant, mostly in pots because we don't really have a raised garden bed or anything, that would be awesome.
Kathy wants to know, can you substitute sunflower seeds or something else for the walnuts for a nut allergy? Absolutely. And I would also say it doesn't have to be a fatty type of a nut. You know, you could do hummus, right? Make a hummus. There's tons of hummuses that you can make that are easy, that are nut free. And if you're also following my father's heart disease program, I know that he would prefer that you stay away from the nuts.
Yes, he would. A thing that I like to make too, because I feel like your bruschetta was a bit of a side dish, which is fantastic. And as a side, one of the things that I've made with a lot of success over the last couple of summers is a very simple quinoa salad. And it was in a grill guide that we put out last summer, and I'll see if I can find the recipe when Rip's talking. But essentially, you just have white quinoa. You could probably use the tricolored quinoa, but I've used the white quinoa for this. And you put in just pineapple chunks. So whether it is fresh pineapple or frozen pineapple that you have thawed, pineapple chunks, some cilantro. If cilantro is in your palate, I know that that's a very polarizing food for people, but to me, I love it. It doesn't taste like soap to me. It tastes like perfection. And then top that off with a little bit of lemon juice and cayenne pepper. So you've got your grain with your, hearty protein. It fills you up. But then you also have like that sweetness of the pineapple and then that kick of the cayenne pepper, which is just fabulous. And again, one of those things that people, they love it. They love it. And it's gone before the picnic is over.
Hey, Carrie, I think this is a great time, and Sandra's kicked it off, for me to do a quick commercial break to announce. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So to announce our new chilies and stews, we have 5 new chilies and stews that we just launched last week. They are available online. They will be going into Whole Foods globally, all across the United States, starting in early June. But the one that I want to highlight today is this one. It's the chunky chipotle right here. And it's our chunkiest chili yet. It's like the firehouse chili on steroids. We got 3 different kinds of beans. It's our first chili, along with our spicy Cajun jambalaya, to have what we call alternative ground beef crumbles. Now, don't start getting wigged out. These aren't like soy protein isolates or concentrates. This is actually made from pea flour that gives it this kind of like hamburger type, like little beef crumbles. And it is it's my favorite. Of all 10 that we now have, this is my favorite, the chunky chipotle. This bad boy, features 29 grams of protein, per package, and I'm going to eat the whole one. And it's got 11 grams of fiber. So it's really special. I love the back of it. You guys, you just go like this, flip it open like this, tear the perforated top, no scissors, no kitchen tools required. And then open it up, and then you pour it into your bowl or your, what's it called? Your stovetop little
your little pot.
Yep. Your saucepan, and you're good to go in about a minute and a half.
And I think that also makes a great summer thing too, where you could put over like a summer side dish. This shows it over nachos, yum, or you could put it over greens to share, or quinoa.
Well, like yesterday, for example, we made for dinner 2 nights ago, we made burritos, big old homemade burritos. And so for lunch yesterday, I poured half of one of these on top of the burrito, right? And then put it in the microwave and just gobbled it up.
So good. Okay. Oh my gosh.
All right,
why do we do these at lunch? We do these at lunch, and this just kills
me. I know. All right, let's move on, Carrie. What do we want to do? Another sandwich, or do we want to go on to brats? What do you want to do?
I want you to talk about the sandwich, because when we're talking about picnics and kids and going to the pool and things like that, I think we need to talk a little bit about sandwich, and then we'll come back to the grill.
Okay. So this is it right here. You can see that photo.
Yeah. Let me expand it a little bit.
So this is like a egg salad sandwich. I never liked egg salad sandwiches growing up, but I love this one. Actually, we made this. Jane and I have this in the Engine 2 cookbook. We made this for my mom, and she tried it. And at first she winced, and she's like, oh my God, this tastes just like an egg salad sandwich. And that's why we call it the V egg salad sandwich. V meaning, I guess, vegetarian or vegan. But the ingredients, Carrie, are super simple. You just take 12 ounces of a firm tofu, and you cut into 1/4 inch cubes. Then you let that drain for about 15 minutes. Then we want to have half of a red onion, a cup of chopped celery. We also want to have some homemade hummus, or if you want to go to the store and buy something that's oil-free, go ahead and do that. But we want half a cup of hummus, 2 tablespoons of dried dill or chopped fresh dill, 1 dill pickle chopped or more, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, black pepper to taste. And then, of course, we got our 4 slices of whole grain rye bread. And then what we do is, in a bowl, you're going to combine all those ingredients except for the cube tofu. And then we're going to take the tofu cubes, add those to the bowl, stir everything together until it's really well mixed up. And then you put that on top of your bread, and you're good to go. So and it doesn't take, it doesn't take long at all. And the fact of the matter is, we're not even cooking the tofu. Right.
Yeah. And I think the magic ingredient that you snuck in there is dill. Yeah, dill is that magic ingredient. And Marley actually asked, what about like black salt?
I think black salt would really contribute to that egginess for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That, it's that black salt, and even that whole sulfur taste and flavor is, again, I think a hit or miss. It sort of falls in line with the cilantro crowd. You either love it or you're like, ooh, there's a reason why I don't like egg. And that's probably it. But for those that want that sort of eggy taste, it does help. It helps a lot. Yeah.
I'm just going back here. Commercials like this are the best. Oh, I love it. I love it. And then we appreciate it when people like Margie say the soups are delicious. How spicy is it? I'll tell you, Lisa, you know what? It's not that bad. And I love it really, really spicy. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 5.5. So it's not bad. Not bad at all. So that, anyway, we also have another recipe. It's called the Nottingham salad sandwich. It's very similar to this one. and I can't remember which book it's in, but for people that like egg salad sandwiches, this is a winner. And so is the Nottingham. And maybe somebody that knows all the books a little bit better than I do knows which book the Nottingham sandwich was in. Be great if Jane was listening in right now.
Oh, you would be ridiculed by by your sister.
It would be ugly.
Yeah. My other, super simple, and for those that have watched like the past ones, I'm all about like the one ingredient solution. And this is found this in the frozen foods, cabinets, or what are those things called? The cases. I'm not even sure where, because to be honest, my husband does most of the grocery shopping. And all this is cauliflower, sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts. That's all it is. No oil is included in this particular bag. And this is great for roasting and grilling as well. So if you can find the just vegetables, frozen vegetables that are not coated in oil, then you have yourself a simple solution that you could serve by itself or over a grain or a salad or anything else.
Where did you get that?
As I'm not totally positive, because it might have been like Walmart, quite honestly.
I bet. And who makes it?
Pick Sweet Farms.
Pick Sweet
Farms. Yeah.
PICT. That's a weird spelling, isn't it?
Yes, it sure is. Yeah. Yeah. So I think I'm guessing Walmart, maybe. Yeah.
Huh.
And even this one's, it just roast 20 minutes. And my other show and tell is just corn, either in the husk or not in the husk. If it's in the husk, we grill it right on the grill with it within the husk. And that's actually in the Engine 2 cookbook as well. There's a recipe for just grilled corn, probably the best recipe and the easiest recipe. But we'll put like some nooch on it. We'll put a little bit of nutritional yeast on it to give it a little kick. And it's so lovely. I know, Mona, I love corn as well.
There is nothing like sweet summer corn that you can eat almost like if it was raw. So here's my question. I'd love everybody to put this in the comments. What is the best way that you have found to cook corn? Is it in a pot of boiling water? Is it on a grill? If you put it in boiling water, how long do you do it? Is it 2 minutes? Is it 10 minutes? I had a huge argument, I should say conversation, with Lori Kordowich and my mother about 2 years ago at the farm. And we could not find consensus.
We're already getting great suggestions. I have to say that grilling has become my favorite, or as Anne Marie said, air frying it, because the boiling water, I like it, but it takes me back to my childhood growing up in the 80s. And I love my mom to death. She's robust and alive and doing well, but she would overboil that corn, overboil any vegetable, quite honestly, and to where it was just so mushy. It was so mushy. So,
that's the worst.
Yeah.
So Carrie, I gotta read some of these comments. Instapot for 1 minute. In the microwave, in the husk, right? What's this? 1 minute boiling water, or just eat it raw, cut off the cob? Here, Kathy's like 6 minutes, no salt or butter, or half an hour in the oven in husk if it's not too hot out. Oh, interesting.
I love that. Okay, boil it for 6 minutes. I'm writing 6 minutes down. Thank you very much. Because I think it was
boil 10 minutes, then season. That 10 minutes seems to be what I hear a lot, but yeah.
I think my mom would boil it for like 46 minutes or something, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a few minutes.
And then here's just about 2 minutes. Less cooking saves vitamins, much fresher. Yeah. Couldn't agree with you more. Thank you. Whoever that discovered that the Nottingham sandwich spread is on page 224 of Plantstrong.
I think that was Nikki, who was a fellow Team Plantstrong runner. Hey, Nikki.
And that is just, Carrie, a cup of chickpeas mashed with a fork, a quarter cup of chopped onion, a quarter cup of chopped pickles, 1 celery stalk, finely chopped, 1.5 tablespoons of mustard, 1.5 tablespoons of applesauce, half a teaspoon of fresh dill, chopped, and then a pinch of salt and a pinch of freshly ground black pepper. All right. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Okay. Applesauce. I like it.
I think that's the kind of the secret ingredient there for sure.
Uh-huh.
All right. Should we move on to the brats?
Yeah, let's take it back to the grill.
All right. Now I gotta hit you with some more fun facts though. First, this is about hot dogs. All right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
where do you think the name hot dog came from?
Oh man.
And don't say Hamburg.
No, yeah. It's gotta be, I don't know. I'm gonna maybe trace its roots back to like the whole Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Like, I don't know. I think hot dog is like, the show off or
Yeah. Well, the answer is nobody really knows.
So I was right again. No.
Yes. Oh, Nikki's like, hey, Carrie, ready for another race?
It's coming soon. Coming soon.
Do you think it's a sandwich or something else? How is a hot dog classified?
Garbage is what it is. It is garbage.
Well, technically, it's actually classified as a sandwich, believe it or not.
Is it? Okay.
Which American city do you think eats the most hot dogs in this country at 31 million pounds a year?
Oh, God. Where's the Nathan's hot dog eating? I'm going to say Philadelphia, and I know that's not right.
No,
but
Nathan's is in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll switch to Brooklyn.
The answer is Los Angeles, California. Isn't that weird? Isn't that
California?
Yeah. What do you think is this country's favorite condiment on hot dogs?
I'm going to go mustard.
Bing, 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 bing.
Okay.
You're right. What do you think is second?
Ketchup.
Yes.
And then relish.
These are easy. So on July 4th, this country will eat 150 million hot dogs on July 4th. And you said it, Nathan's hot dog eating contest takes place in Brooklyn, New York. The winner of the contest who has eaten the most in 10 minutes is who? Do you know his name?
He's like Japanese. He's like a skinny Japanese guy.
That was Kambashaya or whatever. But no, he has actually been supplanted by another person whose last name is a type of a nut.
I don't know. Joey
Chestnut.
Oh my gosh.
This guy is wolfed down.
Keith knew.
Really? Yeah, there you go. There you go, Keith. Keith, do you know how many hot dogs do you think he wolfed down in 10 minutes?
Come on, Keith. Help his sister out.
This is including the bun.
Come on, Keith. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, because I literally don't know, but I'm going to say 70 or something.
While we're waiting for that answer, which he's probably
no Googling. Yes.
We have 270.
That's what I said.
Is
that right?
That's right. So we have 2 national hot dog days in this country. One is July 23rd and the other is September 10th. Don't ask me why. Very strange. All right. With that, hey, Carrie, let's move on to some carcinogenic processed foods to our epic brats. Here's a photo right here.
Yes. Let me blow that up. Yes. Oh, these are my favorite.
And I want you to know that these were the brainchild of Renee Damon. She was a store team leader at one of the Whole Foods. She came to one of our retreats in, I believe it was Sedona, Arizona. And she let me know 2 years after coming to the retreat that it took her 2 years to perfect this brat recipe. And guess what she uses to enrobe
Oh.
all of the innards.
God. Okay, we got to think of a better way to sell that.
All the Plantstrong guts.
Yes. Oh God. Well, I know because I make these, but it's like I'm gonna get it wrong, like spring roll paper. So it's like brown rice.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
The magic ingredient is the brown rice spring roll wraps, right? And you just, obviously you put them in your water for just a little bit, take them out, and then you put in your insides. You're filling, right? So
Thank you.
So it's actually much like what we did with the handstand burgers, where you want to have your bean. In this case, we use a garbanzo bean that's drained and rinsed and mashed. Then we also have pinto beans, drained and rinsed and mashed. And then we also have half a cup of brown rice and a cup of rolled oats. That's kind of the foundation. And then the incredible thing here is then you give it the international flavor or cuisine that you want based upon some additions you make. So for example, we have the American style and we have Mexican style, Italian style, Thai style, and Indian style. And it's all based on the spices and inclusion. So for example, the American style seems so boring, but we have 3 tablespoons of diced tomatoes, 3 tablespoons of diced green or red bell peppers, 3 tablespoons of diced red onion, 2 tablespoons of mustard, and then 2 tablespoons of diced dill pickles, right? So, and you add all that to that foundational mixture, right? Now the Mexican version is an additional can of black beans, drained, rinsed, and smashed, 2 tablespoons of salsa, 2 tablespoons of diced green chilies, 2 tablespoons of chopped cilantro, 2 tablespoons of diced bell peppers, and then 1 cup of shredded zucchini or squash, which that's wild to me. And then there's obviously, let me just share with you there's the Italian, there's the Thai, and the Indian. Which of those 3 do you want me to share with you? The Indian, the Thai, or the Indian?
Okay. First comment
Yeah.
makes it, because I know I am fortunate enough to have the book that has all of these recipes. And I did drop the basic recipe into the chat. Yeah. So yeah. I don't know. I think Thai like the Thai would be, well, we got all 3 of them, Indian, Thai, and Italian. The first one there is Indian.
No, I'm gonna go with the Thai, right? Because just to break the tie.
Yeah.
So we have 1 15-ounce can of garbanzo beans, no salt added preferred, drained and rinsed. It says, instead of the pinto beans in the original base ingredients. Okay.
Got it.
Then we have 2 tablespoons of fresh lime juice, 2 tablespoons of chopped green onions, 2 tablespoons of minced fresh ginger root, 2 tablespoons of minced fresh basil, and then half a cup of shredded cabbage. And then sriracha to taste.
Yeah.
And know everybody that you'll be able, as soon as this is over, it'll be on YouTube and you can go back and write it down if you haven't had time while we're doing this right now. And then the great thing is you take the filling, you put it into your brown rice paper wrap, and then you fold it appropriately. And then it's crazy how it cooks on a grill. You can bake it. You can put it into a saucepan. It is so incredibly versatile. It won't burn. It's spectacular.
And Kathy, yes, I have tried it on the air fryer. I've made these in the air fryer and they grill up just beautifully with the sort of like you just get that crispy casing feel. And with or without a bun, we actually rarely use the buns, but we'll put a side of sauerkraut and we'll use dill pickles. We'll use mustard. And it's so good.
Totally. I mean, look at these 3, right? You have the plain, you've got it looks like the sauerkraut, and then you've got a little bit of everything there in the middle, right? Mm-hmm. But remember the inside of these are just loaded to the gills with all kinds of wonderful ingredients. So anyway, this would be a fun little family project for Memorial Day to make the epic brats.
Yep. And again, the preparation, it's just like making your burgers, really. And in fact, we've actually used the same filling. So the same guts, the same innards as from our burgers that we've just put in the brown rice paper. The trick on the brown rice spring roll paper is to get it wet with warm water, but not oversaturate it to where it gets sticky and starts to rip apart. So you just want to get it wet enough to where it becomes a little pliable in your hands. Put it on like a plate or even a cutting board, something that's flat, and then put your innards in that and then roll from there.
Yes. And the answer to Cindy's question here, can you oven roast them to get that crispy taste? Absolutely. 425. Sounds perfect. Let me actually take a look and see what we put in the book. But yeah, 425.
And while he's doing that, I would just encourage for those of you who have not explored plantstrongfoods.com to go there at your leisure. And of course, it's where we sell all of our foods. But there's a tab at the far right that says more. And there's a recipes tab down there. Yeah. And have at it, pages upon pages of desserts, of oh my gosh, I'm looking at these twice baked potato skins. I'm looking at a broccoli soup. So not just necessarily for picnics and things, but for all meals. So spend some time. Yeah.
I do not. It does. This is for grilling. It doesn't say for the oven, but I would tell you 400, 425 would work great, and probably for about 10 to 12 minutes, and then check it. Let's do a quick plug right now, since we're going to the summertime right now, for our teas, because we just introduced some really clean iced teas, and these really are like world class. We get them from Sri Lanka. They're handpicked from small farmers. Truly a best-in-class product. Lori, can you pull up the a photo? I mean, Carrie.
I know. I was like, I've been fired already. I'm pulling up the plantstrongfoods.com website, and I'm going to go to the teas page. Let's see if I can.
Great. And I'd love to just start with the raspberry hibiscus.
You're putting me on the spot. This could go very poorly right now.
No, it's not. It's not. Okay. This can go great. So the first is, I want to talk about the raspberry hibiscus. This has no added sugars, no added natural flavors. The raspberry hibiscus has got a nice fruity raspberry flavor with invigorating floral notes from the hibiscus. This is caffeine free, and each bag that these come in contains 16 family-sized tea bags. And I just can't say enough how fantastic this product is. Next, Carrie, if you go to the Port Swing iced tea, this is 100% Ceylon tea. This has got a slightly malty flavor with a lot of body. And this one does have some naturally occurring caffeine in it. And then lastly, our lemongrass. This has lemongrass and lemon peel. And it also has this cool citrusy flavor to this green iced tea. Mm. So that's it. That's my little plug for our iced teas as we go into summer. These will help cool you down and keep you hydrated.
Awesome.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
All right.
So, I mean, Carrie, we've talked about hamburgers. We've talked about brats. We've talked about open-faced, easy summer sandwiches. Yep. The Nottingham, and also, of course, the V-egg salad sandwich. What about salads or salad dressings? What do you want to say there?
Yeah, I will once again point our audience to a an address on the plantstrongfoods.com, and it is a guide that Plantstrong has put together, and I just dropped it. And it is an oil-free salad dressing guide, and the graphics were done by Amy Mackey, who is one of our OGs. She is also one of our content creators, one of our Plantstrong coaches. So I love that. Similar to the burgers, all you need to think about is you want to think about your recipe, like, in what flavor do I want to create today, and just little different sections. So we want, for the salad dressings, you need a fat, you need a salt, you need a sweet, and you need a sour. So there's 4 ingredients really that make up a good salad dressing, and how you combine those is up to you. Now, if you're like me and you need a little guidance and you need a little help on that, because I know, like, the 3-2-1 dressing, for instance, that Jane and Ann and Rip have talked about for years. I love their lemon tahini dressing that I know how to make now because I've followed the recipe enough. But if I ever get stuck, this guide here that I've dropped in talks about all 4 of those: fat, salt, sugar, or fat, salt, sour, sweet, and no sugar, and how you can combine those to make a lovely dressing. So those
Yummy,
are
yummy.
also, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for putting that together and sharing that with everybody, Carrie.
Yeah. My pleasure.
Carrie, we are running up at the top of the hour, and I got a lunch appointment that I got to get to. But everybody, I just can't express enough how excited I am going into the summertime. I love this time of the year. I'm going to be going up in the Northeast when it gets brutally hot here in Austin, Texas, to escape for a little while. But I wish all of you just the best over Memorial Day weekend, and as we glide into summer of 2023. Last word?
Yeah. I mean, as we do enter Memorial Day weekend, let us not forget to remember our servicemen and women here in the United States and abroad who have done so much for all of us to allow us to do still on a Friday afternoon. And so, yeah, let's remember that on Monday. And my goodness, Rip, next week I'm running a marathon next Saturday. So I'm fully into taper mode right now. So I've got so much time on my hands that I'm not training. So I can't wait to see what we come up with for next Friday, but it'll be a good one.
Well, thank you, everybody, for all the love in the comments. We really appreciate all of you. We have the best Plantstrong family ever. All right. Carrie, keep it Plantstrong this weekend.
Oh, where are you? There you are. Every day, Rip. Every day. Take care.